Hey girl, hey.
Hey, girl. Hey. Welcome to the Poetic Perfectionist podcast. I'm your host, Sophia.
And I'm your other host, Abigail, but you can call me Abby for short.
Hey, Abby. You like my little dance?
I don't know what to even say with that.
I'm dancing for you. You don't like my dance?
I can see that. I can see that. You seem very
Okay.
excited today. So, what's up? What's going on?
I had some Starbucks today.
Ah, that explains
Uh,
it. I knew you was a
on
little too
top
perky.
on top of the Dunkin' Donuts coffee that I had.
Oh, consamen.
So I'm a little wired, so sorry.
Lord have mercy. Oh, hopefully you can
Uh,
go to bed later today.
I think so. I took a 30-minute nap, so I feel refreshed.
We like that.
So
Naps. I remember when you used to fight them naps. Look at you now, joining the
because they weren't a
team.
part of me. They weren't a part of me. I wanted to be out free.
You part of
Now I'm
that
just
life
like,
now that you over 30. You part of the gang now. Welcome to the
now
club.
I clock out at 5 o'clock. I'm like, I need my nap. I need my nap. I don't feel right. Oh, that work day drained me. Let me take a nap.
Listen, this is your body's way of trying to reset from the BS you had to deal with all day at work. Okay, I get it. I get it.
Apparently.
We all here
Well,
for it.
I'm glad one of us does. I still don't get it, but my body is on your time.
Mm,
Yeah,
mm.
it's like you're right, Abby. I do. She does need her nap. It's time for you to go to sleep.
Facts. That's how I feel all the time. Shoot,
Yeah.
whenever the opportunity comes to take a nap, I'm trying to be there. I'm trying to be part of it, because nothing hits better like a Sunday nap. Ooh, let me tell you, Sunday naps hit different. Okay, once you get to that level of napping, ooh, good stuff, good
Do you
stuff.
like them better than having a brunch?
Kind of. It's not
Oh,
like I don't appreciate. Well, see, the thing is, I feel like brunch is on another category than the napping. Sunday nap, like I associate more napping with a Sunday rather than the brunching. I did used to when I was younger, but it's like as I got older, I was just like, I'm not trying to deal with people so early in the morning, and it's just a lot. I just feel like it's just better if I just, went home and slept. Because, I got to
I'm sorry
start
to hear
that
that.
ghetto cycle all over again. But Saturday, though, Saturday brunching, we offer that. Oh, you know when it feels more special? When it's on a weekday. I just feel so scandalous. Like, ooh, during a work day, I'm out here brunching and drinking alcohol? Day drinking? Ah, scandalous.
You feel your best when you're out on a weekday? Okay.
Yeah, so like
Mm.
it's a day off. Like I'm not at work while everybody else is clocking in. I'm out here brunching with my friends.
I'm not judging you. Okay. I mean, listen, if that's how you feel, that's how you feel. I'm not gonna hold it against you. You being out on a Tuesday, just living it up.
If it's a day off, if it's during daylight hours, it's appropriate. There's nothing wrong with that.
Okay, you with your restrictions. I can't. I just can't. But
We've talked about this already, okay? I need
doesn't
to
make it any better.
replenish. I need to replenish. I can't be out here energizing bunny all day long. You got to pick one. At this age, okay? At this ripe old age of ours, over 30, you got to pick one. You can't be doing day activities and night activities all in one day. You got to pick one. Day or night. Pick one.
Okay, you have just entered the 30s club, all of like 40 seconds. Relax.
Don't you deny and take this away from me, okay? I deserve this. I'm part of the club now. I get to say
Okay.
these shit.
Okay. Okay. All right. All right. Dude. Whew. So hostile, girl. Woosah. What happened to you? Recharging and relaxing and decompress.
You out here trying to take my 30s card from me, okay? I feel a little
I'm not.
threatened.
I'm not trying to take nothing from you. I know that I've learned the
Hmm.
hard way. I'm not taking anything from you. None
Well,
at
as long as it's
all.
not food, okay? I'm not a sharer, as you well know.
That is true. I also learned that the hard way, where you almost stabbed me with a fork.
Okay, that was not my fault. Okay, I blame it on the hunger.
So is that what you're gonna say at my funeral? It
all
wasn't
I'm
my
saying,
fault.
all I'm saying is forgive
It
me
was
for
the
what I
hunger that
done while
killed
I
her.
was hungry.
It was the hunger that killed her. It wasn't me.
Okay, forgive me for what I have done or said while I was hungry. Okay, I can't be blamed for that.
Clearly. 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 Tell Nico I said hey.
Your auntie
No?
says
Okay.
hi.
No? Okay. Well, he
Yeah,
hissed at me the other day, so I don't know if he's in the mood to say hello to me.
he's all finicky. He wants to be out here, all up in the business,
Well,
all up in the tea.
look at you with your fur. I know you see me. Hello. Look at me. Okay, whatever. You can put him down now. I'm tired of him.
He only
He's
wants to get
aggravating.
interesting when he wants to get fed. That's it. That's when he wants to get close. Like, oh, we're BFFs, best friends forever.
Yeah. Isn't that always the case in your household, in your very Haitian household?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, what do you expect? I mean, we operate on the food situation. Like we like to eat, we love to eat, and good food at that. When it's good food, it just can't be helped. Okay, passed on to the cat. What can I say?
Speaking of which, I don't know about you, but I had this dinner. I had dinner plans over the weekend, and we went to this new restaurant. I'm not going to name its name because I went without you because I feel like it probably would have gotten an even worse rating than I already gave it.
Listen, all I'm saying is we spending our time to go outside and spend our money. The least they can do is do their job right and cook the food well. That's all I'm saying. It's the bare minimum.
I will tell you this, I was very happy to have somebody else cook food for me. As a very undomesticated Haitian young woman as myself, if I can get somebody else to make something for me, I very much will do it.
See, you're so lucky that you have a very domesticated Haitian friend like myself who does cook you a majority of your meal. I think I made you your lunch yesterday, did I not? And fed you
You did,
dinner.
and it was great. It was great today. I loved it. Thank you so much.
Yeah, second time
Without
around, I
without
will say it tasted even better second time around. It wasn't as like lemony as you had said the first night, but it was really good. I
yeah,
liked it. That little topping I made, I really like that. I think I'm just gonna be making that topping moving forward. Like that little experimentation,
you
good stuff.
listen. I tell all my friends, listen, when you feel like you need to experiment with food, let me know. I will be the taste tester.
You just
I won't
volunteer
help you.
yourself. You'll pay tribute.
Yeah, I won't help you make the food. Don't expect that. But I'll help you eat the food. If you need me to go out and buy ingredients, I'll do that. I'm very
Mhm.
useful there. Just don't put me in the kitchen and then expect me to do anything other than eat.
Oh wow! I mean, that's a huge part of the job. All the things that you're doing, it's huge that you're going out getting all the ingredients because at the end of the day, you can't make the food without it. So people need to appreciate what you offer and bring to this whole group effort.
Yeah. And I think in my situation, that's how I like to word it, and that's how I like to phrase it. But my family, they'd be like, "So what you gonna do when you get a man?" Well, that is a very good question. If he doesn't want to cook and I don't cook, then we starve.
Listen, I mean, you've been doing so well with the air fryer. Like, you got this. I
The
believe in
air
you.
fryer
You
can
just need
only
a
do
little
so
toaster oven.
much.
Yeah, that's why you got the little toaster oven. You got to get the air fryer. You got to get the what's it called? The crock pot. That'll save you. Just set it, forget it, and then come back. Nice little
I don't know
situation
what it
going
is
on.
about me. I feel like out of all of my friend group, I'm the only one that the need or the want, not even the need, the want to cook to survive just hasn't hit me. It just is like, well, I guess I'm having hopes and dreams tonight because I just refuse.
Listen,
I
that
don't know
stage
what
should have
it
been
is.
behind you after college, girl. Mm-mm.
And I no, didn't know. Just no. Yeah, I've
Mm-mm.
explained it to my family, and they're like, "What happened? You're very good at everything else. What is it about cooking that you don't like?" Um, I just don't like it. Is that not a good excuse? Is that not good enough?
No,
Why
because
do I need
considering
some
that you need to
philosophical
survive.
answer? Um, no.
Okay.
You know, Jesus survived on bread and water.
You know what? If you want to join Maria and her whole hungerism mentality, that's all on you. You on your own, okay? Because I am not hopping on that bandwagon, okay? The only time you're gonna hear me talking about getting on that bandwagon, hunger is just a mentality, is on my fasting days. That's it. When I'm fasting, whoo, hunger ain't nothing but a thing, okay? Though, as the Bible said, as the Lord said, you can't survive on bread and water alone. I don't need it. Carbs, I don't need it. I'm fasting. Water, put a little lemon in it. Ooh, make it taste like whatever I want. The
Is that
essence
why
of life.
every Lent, every season of Lent, you're looking at me like a burger? Is that why?
Oh yeah,
Because
that
I don't know.
veggie burger.
This past Lent, you were eyeing me a little funny, and I didn't like it. I looked like a drumstick to you, and I did not appreciate that not one damn bit. Mm-mm.
It's a
Mm-mm.
veggie stick, you're gonna be out here looking like a Morning Star special.
But veggie, vegan, I don't care. You were looking at me like I was it, and I didn't like it.
Listen,
I'm
it
like,
was
not
a
one damn bit.
starving man in the forest, okay? The desert. It was hungry and thirsty all at once. What do you want from me?
I tried. I really did. I tried.
I know you did, and
Um,
I appreciate
yeah.
that. Well, I mean, the fact that you don't want to cook, that's fine. At least you got a good career and a good job, girl. Okay, so you can pay someone else to give
Yes.
you
No,
that shit.
that is my contribution to society. You know what? I am doing what is in my God-given American right to pay somebody else to do it. We're trying to, we're trying to employ America again. You damn straight.
Well, I mean, you just recently started this job. How has it been so far?
It's actually going pretty good. I
No
work
bad
in
vibes or
insurance.
nothing.
No bad vibes. I work in insurance. So right now I'm still in the training phase as far as like product knowledge, system knowledge. So they kind of put you through with this company that I work at. They kind of put you through like this boot camp almost.
Mm-hmm.
So they can like drill you, see how much you know, and then kind of like take you step by step
Mm-hmm.
as in training on the system that they use and then the
Okay.
product knowledge based on how much insurance experience that you have.
Okay.
I had already come in with about 3 years experience on an assistant level. So that was kind of easy to work with, at least
Okay.
on their end. My colleague, she's coming from personal lines, switching over to
Oh.
the commercial lines. So while she's got the experience in insurance overall,
Yep.
it's the different department that she's in. She's like, I have no experience in that whatsoever. So it's like some
Oh.
things were familiar to her, but for the most
Yep.
part, no, because she has to get used to the idea of how to do things for a business
Mm-hmm.
account, for a business insurance, as opposed to doing it for a personal account, like for you and me.
Yeah.
But it's for the most part, it's doing really well. I work from home, so right now my majority of my training right now, well, my training right now is just from home,
Yep.
so that's pretty good. I probably won't get my probably won't be able to figure out what my schedule is as far as like what one day out of the week I go into the office to
Oh,
go in
okay.
until maybe the next month or two. They're kind of just taking it slow. I think they've hired like maybe 6 or 7 other people.
Oh, wow. That's a lot.
So, yeah. So they're kind of like training everybody so that way kind of slowly phase people into the accounts. And
Mm-hmm.
then once we get our book of business, it's like, all right, you're on your own. My trainer will always be there, but they'll be as more like a resource.
Mm.
So it'll be good. They'll Yeah, it'll be good. But it's
Well,
been pretty good. I just have to remember to always have my phone charged because I don't know if they do this for I don't know if you do this, but when I log into the system, for their what they call an intranet,
yep.
there's like a two-step verification system, but it's linked to my phone. And there have been a
Oh.
couple times where my phone's kind of like almost died because I forgot to charge it, and that's
Ooh.
the only way I can like
Get into the system.
get in. Yeah.
Ooh.
So I just have to remember to like charge my phone, like really charge my phone at night. Been a couple
Yeah.
close calls, but I'm good. How are you? How's uh how's work for you? You went into the office today, actually.
Ugh, man. I
Why?
don't know what happened. I had chosen Wednesday as being my only day to come in because I was like, it's in the middle of the week. It's the perfect time. So if I have to mail anything out or get anything done, it's a perfect time to go in.
Yeah.
It seemed right on paper until I realized, well, it also coincides with when I get paid. And this particular job, they still do live check, which I didn't even think any companies did anymore.
Oh yeah, you mentioned that. So you don't even have the option to like deposit your check
Nope.
by direct deposit.
Nope. If there was
That's
some way
annoying.
that I can at least pick it up or something, like, oh, you can pick up your check from, this office or it'll be in the office type of thing to give you the option, that would be great. Cause then it's like, I'll already have it. I'll deposit it while I'm at
Oh, that's
work.
not an option?
No, they mail it out. So whoever
Ooh.
does like the payroll, they mail it out to everybody. So then I just have to wait for the check to come in and then deposit it. And the problem is, while I'm at work, by the time I get off, it's already like, by the time I get home, it's like either just before 7 or it's after 7. So then when I deposit, it's going to be next day. So it won't clear till like 2 days later.
That's disrespectful.
Yeah, it is. And it disrupts all my stuff. So I really have to be like good on like my budgeting and making sure that I'm a little bit ahead on my bills. Because
No,
if
because
not,
you can run into a chance. Like, what happens if like the check is late?
if the check is late, that screws with everything. That's a huge problem. And I already had that issue last week too, where I deposited my check, it cleared. I made all these transactions or whatever on it. And then the bank is talking about, like, oh, yeah, the check got reversed. Supposedly, they said that it was canceled. I was like, that don't make any sense. I deposited the same check again, and then it cleared the second time I deposited. I was like, I don't know what y'all doing, but fix it. Okay. Fix it now. And that charge that you're trying to give me, I'm not paying that.
Did you get it
Cause
back?
how? Of course, you kidding
Oh,
me?
okay.
I was ready for the fight, but lucky for me, somebody was just like, yeah, we'll just reverse it. I was like, you better, cause I was ready for a fight. Okay.
They probably have a note on your account. She fights for her. Like, reimburse her. Just reimburse her. Don't argue.
Listen,
Just reimburse her.
I work hard for my money. Okay,
As you
very
should.
hard for my money, and I, this job I just started last month. I mean, last year in September. So it hasn't even been a year since I've been at this place yet. It's all new, like it's a new specialty for me, which I'm really excited about because I'm like transitioning from doing real estate as a paralegal to now doing estate planning and probate, so that's a
That
huge
is
shift.
right.
So it's a huge
You
shift. There's a lot that I gotta learn, so it's like all new. Like I'm constantly having to like absorb as much information as I can, so it's like I already have enough things to worry about at work. I don't need to be worrying about my finances as well, in addition to everything else in my personal life. That's just too much.
Yeah. Is the new how? But besides that, is the new specialty a little bit easier for you to take on? Like, because I know with real estate, it was very, very fast paced.
Oh
Your
yeah.
busy season I felt like was all the time.
Well, it wasn't always like that. It just got worse after the shutdown. Because when the shutdown took
Mm,
place, there were so many people that were scrambling to try to like save their house, refinance, and so many people got laid off that they were like, oh my gosh, I gotta figure out how to get some money so I can survive. So a lot of people were refinancing their house, taking equity and money out of their home so they could try to be able to keep up with the bills long enough for them to be able to find a job and then, be able to pay these bills and then pay their rent and their mortgage and all that other stuff. So
Mm.
it went from being like, around the summertime was when we were busy, and then it starts dying down by like Thanksgiving, Christmas. And then during the holiday season up until like maybe March or so, May the latest, it would be like a quiet season. Like we would still be getting business, but it just wouldn't be as like hectic and busy as it would during the summer and fall
Yeah.
after the shutdown. Like there was no more there was no more kind of figuring out which seasons were slow anymore. It was just like all season, all year round you were busy. And essentially that was one of the reasons I ended up moving, because I just felt like I just got burnt out. I literally was doing like 12 plus hour days during the shutdown, and I had so much work to do, so many things. Like I had no time to sleep, let alone eat, let alone take a break. It was just like constant go, 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 go. While real
Yeah.
estate is really good money, it's fast paced, it's good money, but at the same time, it was like it can burn you out.
It's a lot of work.
Oh, yeah, it is a lot of work. But I did love it. I mean, I would, if I had the opportunity to go back again, but it was like in better conditions, like not as many hours, I would totally do
Mm-hmm.
it. Like I said, it's fast money. Like, everything is fairly fast paced. It goes quick. Once you get the hang of it and know what you're doing, it's pretty much like go, 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 go. And then there's like slight differences per file that keeps things interesting every time. So it's not like monotonous where you're doing the same thing over and over and over and over again.
Look at you entering the new phase of your life, career-wise.
Yeah.
Ew.
That
this is what it
that
looks
work
like.
life balance.
Isn't that what it is when a woman of a certain age you enter a new phase of your life?
So they say. Honestly, I just got to a point where it was just like when I saw that a lot of my debts and stuff were starting to dwindle down, I was getting closer to kind of like paying them off, and I was just like, okay, I don't need to be working this hard. I need to be like, you know, I want to be making good money. Don't get me wrong. I still like nice things and expensive things, but still, like
Yes, you
I
do.
need time to be able to like travel, to see my friends, like to do fun stuff. I'm not out here working, like living to work. I work so I can live, and I wasn't
Yeah.
doing much of the living part.
We are doing things differently than how our parents did them.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Because yeah, I mean we briefly mentioned it. We are both children of Haitian households.
Mm-hmm.
So for them coming to America, you work, 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 work. You work, 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 work.
Yep.
Make sure there's food on the table for the children. You send them off
Mm-hmm.
to good schools so they can get their education, and then whatever free time you got, you work, 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 work.
Yep.
And sometimes, like the theory, or at least the thought process behind that, while it's good, they mean well. It's not always healthy.
No.
So, being able to do things differently. I mean, we still want to apply the same work
Yeah, of
ethic,
course.
ethic that we grew up with, that we've grown to see, between our, different family members from our parents to aunts and uncles and grandparents and whoever. But
Mm-hmm.
we also want to do it smarter.
Mm-hmm.
Like we're working, like, remember how I say work smarter, not harder? That's what we're
Oh
trying to
yeah.
do. Trying
Mm-hmm.
to do that. So it's a learning curve. I mean, you're on a like more of like what I like to call a sabbatical schedule almost. Because
Mm-hmm.
you, first of all, you have a day off in the work week.
Oh
I,
yeah.
I,
It's the best. It literally, I didn't like, while I took a bit of a pay cut for this change, it was so worth it. Just having that one day, which is why I don't understand why like a lot of businesses in America don't adopt kind of like that 4 day situation, or at least give some people the option to have like a 4 day work week. Because just gaining one day from the work week makes a huge difference, because it frees
I
up my weekend so much more.
I think it depends on what industry you're in, where in
Mm,
what industry you're in, and what position you're in.
this is true.
If you're not in, first of all, for neither one of us are in the medical field,
Mm-hmm.
so that's great. because they work. I don't care what position they're in. They're always needed, and they're always, I feel like, on call, quote unquote.
Oh
So
yeah.
a 4-day work week is like, that's, they don't have a set schedule like that, like we do.
Mm-hmm.
I do agree having a 4-day work week does make sense, but also at the same time, you take into account how many holidays, how many federal holidays we have off, and how many of those holidays fall on a weekday already. So
Mm.
it's like, let's say we have Monday off. Let's say your off day is Monday, right?
Yeah.
You already go in Tuesday. Well, for work. Well, now if Monday is a holiday, guess what? Your Tuesday is now even triple packed because all
Mm.
the businesses were closed on Monday. So
Mm-hmm.
now they are opening up on Tuesday, and now you're bombarded with even more stuff. So it's like, it just depends on like what your team setup is schedule was is like, what your industry is like. I don't think you'll ever win, at least
Mm.
not in this country, you'll ever win. But we do have a mentality in this country where it's just like, you live to work as opposed to you work to live.
Yeah, and that's the thing. It's like one thing I will say, I am really proud of our culture and the people of our culture because they have really great work ethic. Like 10 out of 10, you can say whatever you want about whatever prejudice you've heard or whatever you can say. What you can't say is accuse us of being lazy because we work hard. And the generation, a lot of people from the generation before, not only did they work hard, they do whatever they had to do to make sure that their kids had, and that's like that's like a huge thing that it's like you can't really say by a lot of like people that's like American born or that's been here a while, because it's like the stereotype or the stuff that you're seeing on the news is like a lot of people are just like, oh, whatever shortcut that they can so they can try to scam like unemployment or this, that, and the third, or trying to steal or this, that. And it's like you hear that so often, you almost think like, oh, is this what's really going on? Is this the majority? Well, I'm sure that that's not the case, but it's like that's what's being pushed out there. So it's like it's hard for you to think otherwise.
It is, and it's very unfortunate because there are a lot of like, even with the unemployment, there are a lot of programs that are out there that were intended to help those who weren't in a position such as like maybe you and I,
Mm-hmm.
where our jobs can financially sustain us without needing the assistance.
Mm-hmm.
Because I mean, our taxes, they go into them. So it's like, all right, we're paying into these types of services with the hopes that the people who do dip into them, they're using it, and they're also using it to kind of keep them afloat, because the next step is living under a bridge,
Mm-hmm.
starving.
Mm-hmm. And them
Don't
bridges
nobody
don't be
want to
looking
see
as good as they used to be.
No, and nobody wants that. So it's like, it was intended to be a good thing, but I think the fact is that what happens is you get that one bad apple that ruins it for the whole bunch. So now there's like this negative stigma attached to it. So it's like now you're almost shameful if you've had to, whether you've had to apply for unemployment, whether you've
Mm-hmm.
had to apply for the SNAP benefits, whether you've
Mm-hmm.
had to apply for public housing or get the Section 8 voucher, like all those, programs with the intention, which were intended to be provided to people who had lower incomes
Mm-hmm.
and could not sustain, on their own based off what they were getting at their jobs. Now it's like this negative thing. But you try living in this expensive ass state.
Oh yeah. Oh, and not only that, like recently I saw what was it? I think you were the one that sent it about that article that
We
Massachusetts
beat
has
New
gone up.
York as being the most one of the most expensive states to live in. I
I
don't know
was
how we
so
beat New York, but
offended.
we did.
I was
We
so
didn't beat
offended.
California, but we beat New York. I'm like, that's not how it, and it's expensive. Yeah, it's expensive. Cost of living is growing. And then you
It's
take into your mortgage or your rent is increasing.
yep.
The utility bills are increasing. Food is
Mm-hmm.
increasing. But guess what? Your
Mm-hmm.
check isn't increasing.
Nope. It never is. It never is. And how long did it take for the minimum wage that was supposed to be gradually increasing year by year to finally go up? What was it, like 10 years ago? 5 years ago that it finally was trying to make a change?
It'll
Because I,
never be enough.
cause I remember when I started in the whole industry, like working, it was $8 an hour. Minimum wage was $8 an hour when I started to work. And I graduated from college, and these businesses were looking at me dead in the eye because I think it was still, I think, $8 an hour, and was like, oh, you got to agree? That's nice. We'll give you $15 an hour. Take it or leave it. You mean to tell me I spent several $1,000s to go to school to get an education, okay, to better myself so that I can, right off the gate be out here making more money than the minimum wage? And you're going to look at me dead in the eyes with the audacity to tell me $15 an hour, take it or leave it?
Yeah, no. Yeah, no. And
Mm-mm.
$15 an hour still isn't enough. You have to
No.
be in like the mid 20s to, even consider it.
Ugh. In this
Yeah,
day
it's
and
no
age,
joke. It's no
no.
joke.
That's
This is why I don't blame. There are certain women. I don't blame them when they're all like, you know what? I'm gonna contemplate. I've contemplated stripping. I've contemplating a sugar daddy. Or they demanded their potential mate to have something to bring to this imaginary table that they keep being told about. It was like for the way rent prices and gas, and
mm-hmm.
there better be some on that table because it's
Listen,
expensive.
all I know is the dating pool has now turned to an
It has piss
audition.
in it.
Yeah.
It has piss in it.
It's an audition for who's best to support me and my lifestyle. That's what it's become as, because
And
it's
you're
like it's not no more like you're just dating. Now it's like people used to be like, oh, it's so old fashioned, dating with a purpose. Nah, they're dating with a purpose now. It may not be the purpose to get married, but it's a purpose to get them half of them bills paid. It's a purpose to get that unofficial but official, roommate in.
all of a sudden, listen, living together, what they used to call it, the old folks would call it shacking up. Back in my day, we shacked up. Now it's like shacking up might be a requirement at this point
Mm.
because the way some of these things are looking.
They'd
Listen,
be like, oh, let's start
listen.
as roommate first. We're just roommates. We'll see how you work on a
Hmm.
trial basis, period. Now,
Hmm.
now it's like the dating apps no longer, it's not just like strictly for like, oh, to date people or find your significant other. It's like,
For
oh,
survival.
yeah, we're just looking for a friend. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Friend on paper, friend as in friend who's going to be paying half these bills because we can't do it by ourselves.
It's expensive.
We rather spent the other half of the money to be paying for things we like going brunching, weekend trips, vacations, shopping with our friends, the fun stuff, facials, nails, hair, the good stuff, the things we actually are working to like enjoy in life, not bills. Oh, I saw this. Was it this meme? It goes like, "Bills are no longer bills anymore. We got to start calling them Williams because they're getting way too grown."
That's actually funny.
Williams.
I mean,
Like,
they're not like, and I don't know how you felt for you. I know you're currently in a relationship, but as a single woman, I am looking at these bills and I'm just like, who is going to rescue me from this mess? I don't want
oof.
to. I do not want to. I get it. This whole you don't need a man. You can do this all by yourself. No, no, I can't.
No, absolutely not.
No,
I was like,
I
listen, I don't know who started
no.
pressing that narrative, but they better shut up, okay? Because
Not me.
that is not the case. Okay,
Mm-mm. I
we
don't
need
want a
help.
broke man. I don't want a greedy man.
Mm.
But somebody has to. I've got things to do, and I too would like to benefit from those tax credits and those benefits of file jointly. But something, give me something because
Listen, at
this is
this.
getting expensive. And the
Mm-hmm.
way I be looking at my outings, I've had to cut back on a few things. I don't have the energy to cut back on anymore.
I
Okay,
was
I'm trying
so
to be outside for
sad.
the summer.
I was so sad when I had to cut back on our monthly steakhouse like dinners. Now we gotta move that shit down to like once every like 3 to 4 months. I was devastated. I was like, that's the only thing I really look forward to. It's just our occasional shopping, hair, nails, and then our steakhouse dinners.
I
Granted,
mean,
I'm not eating the steaks, but still.
I did suggest TGI Fridays, but you just looked at me and laughed.
Oh, the peasantry. We have moved on from TGI. We is not that broke. Okay.
TGI held us, held us up for a while.
Yeah, yes. During our broke days, our college broke days, yeah, TGI's was okay. Okay, we only pretended that it was okay because we did not know better. Okay, you can't be out here going from filet mignon and dry age and wagyu steaks and then going down to TGI. What kind of disrespect are you presenting to your body? It's a temple. You gotta treat it right. It's been abused enough during the high school and college days with the fast foods and the dollar menu of stuff. It's been through enough abuse, okay? This is its new era of being treated like the goddess that it is. Mm, mm, mm,
You look
mm.
so disappointed. I
I
did not
am.
mean to offend you.
It's not you.
It
It's
was.
a trigger from the past. It's just coming
I
back
can
at me.
tell. It is. It is. Okay, girl. Okay. I just hope your man don't. He does know that you don't go to those places such as that. You know.
Girl, let me tell
He
you,
does
he
know
has.
that, right?
I presented it very early on. I sent him links of these are the places that I frequent. These are the places that I go, so he knows what's kind of like price range and situations that I visit.
I'm
And
so
don't
glad
get
he
me wrong,
understands.
I don't know so much if he understands. I think he's like okay with it, but in the sense of like, he
No, he
did
needs
try
to
to present.
understand. He needs to understand. You can send him my way and we can have a talk. He needs to understand because I've gone out. I've been your dinner partner for God knows how long. He
Mhm.
needs to pull his weight. I ain't splitting these $400 checks. What is it that
I
they tell you? Bring something to the table, sir. Bring your credit card. Her half is expensive.
Hey,
Okay.
you only have to pay for my half only like once a year. It's only on my birthday. I think it's only fair on the person's birthday that they don't have to pay. There's been a rule that we've established for a very long time, and it works well. To have that break one day out of the year is not too much to ask for. I'm saying.
My friend, my friend, my friend.
Listen, you can't talk. Your birthday is in November. You get 2 free meals. Not only your birthday, but Thanksgiving is right around the corner.
We're not talking
What you
about
gotta
me.
say? You don't cook, you don't clean. Literally the whole month of November. You be out here like Cardi B. I don't cook, I don't clean. You like, I just show up. Take it as you leave it.
It is not my fault that my parents got down and had me, and I just popped out in November. That was no that I had no control of that. Okay,
Mm,
I had no control
mm,
of that.
okay, okay. Whatever you
Listen,
say. Try to blame your
listen.
parents.
I mean, who else am I gonna blame? I'm not gonna blame myself.
Okay, you're right. You can't control that part. But I'm just saying,
Exactly.
gotta take some responsibility somewhere.
Well, when I find it, I'll let you know.
Yeah, right.
When I find it, I'll let you know. This is probably the part where you're like, I can't with you.
Yeah, no, I can't. Are you right? That's what I was gonna say. I can't with you.
Well, you know what I can't do this summer? Go a whole summer without having gone to the beach at least 3 times.
I know we failed
I
so
am
badly
not.
last year. It was
I will not have a repeat of last summer.
last summer was yeah, it was brutal. Like we went to the beach I think like one time, maybe twice, if that. And that
I
was
think
it. But to be fair though, I feel like the weather wasn't even as good as it could have been. I think we had a lot of
it
nice, but
wasn't.
there was a lot more days that it wasn't good than it
The
was
nicer
nice.
days, the nicer days I felt like fell during the week where we're all at work.
Yeah. That's how it usually is. It's like, oh, while you're at work, nice day, sunshine, 80 plus degree weathers. And then as soon as it's your day off, it's like cloudy and rainy. I was like, well, this is so unfair.
Yeah. So this summer, obviously I've discussed this with you, but I've also discussed with our other friend, Misa, that we will. be at the beach. We will do something. When I say I'm trying to be outside, first of all, I'm not trying to be outside like that.
You're not built for the outside. First of all, let's discuss that for a hot minute, okay?
Okay.
Anything trees
When
and forest related is
I
not for you.
when I say I'm trying to be outside, I really mean I'm trying to be outside at the beach, enjoying myself, getting a tan.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not trying to be outside like that.
No.
However, these young people want to praise it, because
Mm-hmm.
somebody brought it to my attention when they were like, "You know how you're saying it doesn't, you know." I was like, "No, no, no. I'm trying to be outside on the beach. That's what I'm trying to do." So just to clear that up for you.
Mm-hmm.
Been a couple times you looked at me funny, like where, what, how outside are you trying to be? Don't know.
Yeah, I just have to clarify because I don't want, I suffer every now and then from foot and mouth syndrome. And I'm not going to go down that path of assuming and making an ass out of myself. It's best to be asking clarification questions, okay? At the ripe age of 30, we asking clarification questions now. We not going on assumptions and operating that way. So then we out here getting our feelings hurt. We just not doing that.
Mm-mm,
That's not what we
mm-mm,
doing. Mm-mm.
mm-mm.
2023?
Not us.
Nope.
Not me. Not I.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
No. So I do want us to be able to enjoy the summer. I mean, I think it'll be perfect. You've gotten this new job, so it's still new. You haven't hit the 1 year mark, so it's still new.
Yeah, no.
You want to be able to actually enjoy, this is my 1 year mark in. I want to enjoy it. I've gotten this new
Mm-hmm.
position. I want to be able to enjoy the fruits of my labor.
Oh yeah.
Um, and then just have a good, good summer, good memories. I mean, remember all those times where we had all that fun and we were broke? Well, now that we have money, why are we struggling to have fun?
You right. You right. Just budgeting just right. I think my thing is like I find that when we budget a lot of our stuff like in advance. I mean, I particularly don't like that word budget. I want like no limit, no limit. That's the type of life I'm trying to live. But for right now, we got to use that awful, awful word, budget.
I told you it was a terrible word.
It is a terrible word, especially when you realize that, your money already got a place to go before you even can have time to enjoy it, that it came in your account.
The nerve, the nerve.
But
I tell you, the nerve.
as terrible as that is, though, it still provides us with a hope of us being able to actually do fun things. So it's not completely terrible. I'm going to have to pull up my memory bank of our college days of the, budget adventures and such, to like still, because, we had a lot of fun. We had a very good time back in the day. And I think we can still do it now that the budget is a lot, higher than the
I think
$3 we were rubbing together.
I think we can do some of those things. I mean, I'm trying to think about the things that I used to do way
Mm-hmm.
back when. And well, first of all, strolling in at 6 a.m. is not one of those,
No.
because that happened probably twice. I don't know how party people do it. I can't. I don't have the energy.
You kidding
Nope.
me? Uh,
Strolling in, I remember my dad saw me. He was getting up to go to work, and I was walking in to go to bed. He was like, "Oh, you had a good night, didn't you?" I was like, "Oh, yeah." I'm going to bed.
I think the latest I've ever done is like 4 a.m. And it literally I just got in my room probably 10-15 minutes before my dad woke up and started getting ready to go to work. It was the most I was like, whew, dodge that bullet. Can you imagine coming in and my father just seeing me be like, oh, put us out today?
I was just gonna ask you, because being the daughter of a Haitian father, I'm like, I was shocked that my dad, he must have been too tired, or wasn't really, he must have still been sleepy when he was on his way out, as I was on his way in, and he didn't put two and two
Mm-hmm.
together.
Mm-hmm.
But, as protective as they are of us, the
Mm-hmm.
sons, they could let out, listen, you can go out and rob a bank for all I care. Just bring the money back. But us, oh, you didn't come straight home from school. What
Yeah, no.
happened?
Yeah, no.
Were you kidnapped?
I now that I'm older, I've found that with my father, his mentality is this: if you're home, right, past 8 p.m. and then you're trying to leave, then it's a problem. But if you already out in the streets and you stay late and then you're coming, it's not as much as a problem because it's like you was already out type of thing. But when you're leaving, when it's time supposed to go to bed, he out here looking at you. Kisa getting there pool. I don't mean okay. Go to bed. Okay, go to bed. There's nothing out there for you.
Before I think for me, my parents would have been like, "Oh, she's at Walmart." Because remember when Walmart was 24 hours, I would just get up and go to Walmart.
Oh
would
yeah,
just get up
your
and go to
good old
Walmart.
days. Your
My
good
good
old
old
days.
days. Now, since the pandemic, my parents were trying to reach out to me. It was like, well, where are you? I was like, I went out to dinner or I went out to whatever. So it's not like she's like, well, she's not at the club. She ain't trying to be around all those sweaty people.
Nope.
And so so I think the assumption is they think I'm obviously at a friend's house.
Mm.
So they're like, oh, she's at a friend's house. So she'll crash at their friends. She'll crash at her friends. She'll be all right as long as she's safe. The whole point is that they need to be able to reach me and do like a visual. God forbid I get kidnapped. They want to be
Mm-hmm.
able to track my footprint with the cuffs. When
Mm-hmm.
I spoke to her, I heard her friend in the background. She was
Mm-hmm.
making spaghetti.
Yep. I mean, I make it a thing. Like every time your mom calls, I'm like, "Hey," so that she hears me in the background. She knows, like, "Yep, she was here." When she
Mm-hmm.
leaves, on the other hand, nah. Listen, if I'm dropping you off at home, that's why I make sure see it with my eyes that you walked in and shut the door. What you do after that, not my business. That's what I've been told. My father told me when you drop your friend off at home, make sure you watch them go in and shut the door. Because once they're in, what they do after you leave, not your business. Because you saw them go in, the door was shut. Then it get snatched up, then it get robbed up, then it get yagat up, whatever you want to call it. That didn't happen on your watch. That's all you got to make
So
sure you're not to do.
yeah. So it's a weird dynamic when I hear some people. I mean, growing up that way, of course, it makes sense. Minor children, they must be, monitored at all times. I get that part. But
Yep.
as adults, and especially in my position where I'm living at home because I'm saving to buy my place. So
Mm-hmm.
feasibly, financially, it doesn't make sense for me to be paying $3,000 a month
Nope.
for an apartment and still save up. I'd rather be like, listen, they got the space.
Mm-hmm.
Come on in. Cool. Split the bills if I need to. It's not really a requirement, but take care of that. But stack up and move out because they are on that, move out once and then that's it type of mentality.
Yeah, I feel like
But
most Haitian parents are like that. When you move out, it better be because you're getting married. Because they don't know why you moving out. You got a perfectly good room upstairs. What you gotta go for?
you
Where are you
basically have a
going?
you basically have kisa really a whole full-fledged apartment over. You got a mansion over there.
Mm-hmm.
No, I just have my bedroom. It's not a mansion.
That four by
I
four
don't.
cell. That's what you calling a mansion.
It doesn't. I have a cousin who's recently, not just my cousin, but also another friend of mine recently moved back in her complex. They raised the rent. She was like, I can't. Her parents were like, listen, you can just come back. Just come back. Just come back. Mind you, she has two brothers and a sister. Her and her sister have been propositioned to move back home. Let the boys try and come back home. Oh, Kosamen, you're just gonna sit on the couch and be a lazy bum for the rest of your life. I
Yeah,
just sat
because
down to
we,
breathe.
we get the return home card that we can play only because they know when we come back they get some benefits. Like somebody's cooking, somebody's cleaning, somebody's doing something that's gonna be of benefit to them. The boys on the other hand, they've been coddled and cocked and all that. Oh, Tishiri, do all this stuff. They wouldn't even figure out how to wipe their ass without instructions. So what are you gonna get when they come back? Nothing.
Nothing.
Absolutely nothing.
You might as well get out and stay out.
Yep. Yep.
so
Go
in
figure some shit out in the street.
so in her position, so she recently moved back in. So she's trying to adjust to, she's been out on her own for God knows how long. So she's just like, I don't know how to let that part go, which is understandable. You've had all that freedom. Listen, I went through it too. I had all that freedom, and now I got you in my face. It's a loving face because I
Mm-hmm.
share that face, but you're in my face.
Makes sense.
So she's back home. And she's just like, it's weird because they don't, check her, or, there's a curfew. And I think that's the stigma some people get when they hear that you've had to move back home. They don't do that. It's just like, adults are under the same roof. She comes and goes as she pleases. She's very respectful of her time,
Mm-hmm.
of the rules within the house, because it's still their house.
Mm-hmm.
But, she's like, it's pretty much like living on my own, except I know I'm related to these neighbors. I can hear them. Yeah, and it's pretty much, I think, they had like a part, like a garage, like garage extension. They converted that until, so it's like literally an in suite for her.
Mm-hmm.
So she feels like she's at home, like her own place. So she's like, I kind of feel like I'm by myself without being by myself, because I'm literally on the other side. Like, I
And that's
probably
the
only.
important part. I think that's the thing that people are most nervous about, that it's going to be as like overbearing and as whatever it was prior to when you leave. But what a lot of people don't understand is like when you leave, and if it's something unfortunate, you have to come back, the dynamic has shift because you've probably been away for so long that the
Hmm.
parents you knew are no longer the same parents. And you're no longer the same person either, because you've grown, you've changed, you've seek help, you've tried to dealt with traumas and work through some things and learn some things through life. And you may even discover that, being out on your own, there's certain things that your parents used to do that you didn't understand until you had to go out there and do them yourself. Then it's like, I see why they operated in X, Y, and Z way. Because now that I have to kind of make certain tough decisions and choices myself, I can see why they would have made this decision, type of thing. Like you're almost a little bit understanding. It doesn't,
You
you know,
get where they're coming from. It's
exactly.
just you're now doing it in a different way than
Mm-hmm.
what they would have done. You're
Yeah.
coming to
So
the same conclusion, but it's different way to get there.
exactly. Exactly. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I think that's good. So I think for the while I'm saving,
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to enjoy, the good moments while I still can,
Mm-hmm.
and take full advantage of it.
I mean,
I
that's
don't know
good.
what
I
your
mean,
I don't know what your situation is, because you got that cat that be looking at you. So I don't know if he'll let you out this summer.
well, with Nico is a little different. When I have to go anything more than like a day away, I have to like kind of situate who's gonna feed him, who's gonna take care of him, who's gonna, he's pretty simple because he's a cat. He just needs to be fed at least twice a day. His water fountain needs to be full, but his water fountain, once I fill it up, is good for a week. So he's good pretty much on the water. It's the food part of like once to
He's
twice a day is the issue.
he's simple if he were a normal cat, but because he's your cat, he's not as simple as you think. Don't
It's
don't
not my
forget about
fault.
that time where you went away for, I don't know where you went. You went somewhere. You were gone for more than a week, and all of a sudden, he's treating your entire space as a litter box because he's angry at you.
Yeah, I don't know what happened there. He just I don't know. I don't know either. I don't,
I think you should contemplate taking him out this summer with
at
you.
the
So where you go, he goes.
I don't know
You
about
want to go
that.
to the beach, he goes to the beach. You
He's
want to
gonna
go
be
to Portugal, he goes
traumatized.
to Portugal.
Oh, listen, he already get enough of a fancy lifestyle with me having to buy them expensive special foods because he has, sensitive stomach. He can't eat just anything. He can't got no grains. He can't have no this. He can't have no that. At this point, I'm gonna have to be paying for his therapy sessions while I'm at it.
I mean, I don't see why not.
Okay, I'm done with this foolishness. Um, so yeah, so I mean, aside from the beach, is that all you have in regards to summer plans and such, or
That is all that I have
okay?
planned for right now. I'm trying to live, take it day by day for the summer so that I don't stress myself too much.
As you should not.
But the important thing is that for every weekend that I go out during the summer, if I'm not at the beach, if I'm not somewhere else, like for brunch or dinner or whatever, or at a birthday party or whatever the case may be,
Mm-hmm.
I'm at the beach. Like, the beach is you won't find me at home, you'll find me at the beach.
Mm-hmm.
So that's pretty much it. I mean, I don't have anything else planned. You don't seem to have anything else planned other than that. That's it.
Yeah, no, mine's is pretty simple. If I can get a couple of weekend trips in there, that would be great. But I'm putting some things out there into the world. Let the Lord know, Jesus, if you can bless me.
Maybe in the next episode we'll discuss how you need to take a break from traveling because it feels like you take a trip every other week. Where are you going? I don't know.
I don't take that many trips, okay? I
Okay.
don't take that many trips. I don't take enough trips, if anything. I feel like I'm just like out here homeward bound too often.
Okay.
Like I need to leave the state and do things. Like I think we should be planning a trip to like Vegas or something. Like Vegas was fun. We should go.
Okay. I approve of Vegas. I approve of that.
See,
I approve of
see,
Vegas.
see. Or
Hmm.
or or Arizona. I heard there's a lot of spa places there.
I
Huh?
approve of that too. I approve of that too.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But
This is
other
the
than that,
time.
I'm side eyeing you because we've had this discussion before. You vacation a lot.
Listen, okay. In my mind, if I don't leave the U.S. soil, it does not count.
Okay. All right.
So in that sense, I've barely left.
Okay. You heard it, people. You've heard it, folks. She's over here. If she doesn't leave the U.S. soil, she hasn't traveled. That's what she said. That's what she said. That's it. That's all.
Listen, it's not like I'm not counting it. I'm just saying, like, that's just how my brain feels when am just like, if I'm just going to like Rhode Island, New Hampshire, Connecticut, New York, Florida, it's just like, Virginia. It's just like, it's like the equivalent of a weekend trip. Like, I didn't really go anywhere like that. It's not like I've been doing anything that much different that I couldn't do here in the state of Massachusetts. So,
No, I think I could think of quite a few things that you would do differently outside in those
listen, once you
states.
start going to southern states, it's different. They're different out there. They operate differently. You should
I'm
know
sure
this.
they are. I know I shouldn't because I don't travel down there. I wouldn't be able to tell you. But
Ooh.
I'm sure it's very different.
On a final note, though, did you see that posting about supposedly like the NAACP put out for like a restriction watch or whatever for Black people in Florida?
Oh yeah, so it's similar to the travel advisory that I had mentioned to you before. So for context, because of all that is happening as far as like racial injustice and police and whatnot,
Mm-hmm.
I guess the NAACP decided that you know what, we're gonna put out this warning to other people in the community that you know what, Florida is just not the state for us.
Nope.
It's hard out here. So
Mm-hmm.
I think the intention was to encourage people to leave or not
Mm-hmm.
visit. I'm not sure where they were going with that.
Yeah.
It just doesn't make sense because A, if you already live there, that rules it out.
Yep.
And B, if you have family that lives there, that rules it out as well. If
Mm-hmm.
you work there, like I don't think they thought that part through.
Mm. And it's practically Little Haiti down there too. So like half the majority of Haitians be down there.
Where
So
are they
that's gonna be
going?
tough. I have no idea.
They're not going to Chicago.
Nope.
With all that is going on in Chicago, they're not going there. They're not going to New York. It's cold. Just
Mm-hmm.
like in
And
Chicago, it
expensive.
is cold. And they're not going to Canada because they're not.
Mm-hmm.
So the only other option is to come up to Boston, which they won't do because it's cold,
Mm-hmm.
or stay in Florida where it's warm. I mean, what would you pick? A warm state or a cold state?
Nah, I'm gonna have to take the warm state, even though Florida's kind of ghetto.
I'm not going to touch that with 10-foot pole
And the crunchy
because
water.
I don't understand what that means.
Except
Still.
when you go to Mexico, don't drink the local water. Bottled only. That's the only advisory I can give you.
Oh, because your body's not used to it. But why would the water be crunchy?
I don't know,
You know
man. Maybe
what?
it's the fluoride down there. It's crunchy.
We'll
Okay.
we'll
But maybe
we'll
because of all the alligators and the crocodiles that be floating all up in it. Okay, you don't hear them other states talking about we gotta be afraid to pee and take a number two at the toilet because the alligator or snake be coming up the pipes and shit.
That would be the number one thing that would keep me out of Florida. Not the shootings, not the racial injustice, not everything else. The alligators just randomly popping up in your driveway like they pay the mortgage. No, thank you.
Listen, on that note, I'm all set.
I'm out.
I'm
I'm
out.
out. I'm
Peace
out.
out.
I
Peace
am done.
out.
That is the end of that's a wrap right there. Well, thank you for joining me. Anything else you want to tell joining us. Anything else you want to tell the peoples?
Well, people, thank you for coming on the journey with us. We appreciate you and everything you will do. Uh, you know, uh, I hope you enjoy this as much as we do.
I'm sure they will enjoy it a lot, especially since we have to explain to them how you think traveling, your definition of traveling is a lot different than the rest of us folks. But we'll leave that for another day, even though that you've been to almost every state in this country, but that's okay. We're not going to talk about that.
I have not. That is a lie. I'd like to preface
Mm-hmm.
that. She
Mm-hmm.
exaggerates a lot.
It's how I tell the story. Don't worry about it.
Okay, well, anything you want to leave the people with before we head out?
Now, is that, oh, well, yes. See you next time. And hopefully I don't trigger you as much the next time.
Uh,
No, no, no
listen,
trigger warnings.
I will leave the people with this. Every episode, just beware. You may or may not be triggered. That it is what it is. But we just hope that you enjoy the journey along with us. You enjoy the ride, the laughs, the cries. Hopefully, there's going to be no tears because that's not our point to make you cry. But if it does happen, girl, we'll work through it together. Okay? That's what we're here for.
Yeah, girl. That's what we're going to do. We're going to work through it together.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Have a good one. See you next
All
time.
right. See you next time, everyone.